What's going on, Arizona sports fan family? Appreciate you guys for stopping in. Today, what I want to talk about is the final 53-man roster, my prediction, and how this is going to shake out. Preseason is finally come and gone, and now we can focus on regular football. September 11th, the Arizona Cardinals versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's get started. Roll that intro. Alright everybody, welcome back in. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, today what I want to specifically talk about my prediction on the 53-man roster for the Arizona Cardinals heading into the 2022 season. Before we get started, definitely do me one huge favor, smack that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. We are on the road to 10K and I can't do it without you guys. Definitely subscribe it up. Let's just jump right into this video here, right? How I'm going to do this is I'm going to break it apart from offense, defense, and special teams. I'm going to let you know who I believe is going to make this 53-man roster. Now, also keep in mind when I'm listing off these players, it's not in any specific order, especially, so like, let's say, for example, offensive lineman. I'm just going to list off offensive lineman. I'm not going to say left guard, right guard, any of that stuff. You all know the positions they play, but I will be telling you the players that the Arizona Cardinals will decide to keep in my prediction. Let's get started here. This is my prediction for the final 53-man roster. Let's start off with the offense in the quarterback position. I do believe that the Arizona Cardinals will be carrying 3 quarterbacks in the 2022 season. First off being Kyler Murray, Colt McCoy, as well as Trace McSorley. Trace McSorley had some flashes in this preseason, and I do believe that we've seen it before, right? Last year, although Chris Streveler didn't pan out, I think this is going to be kind of the same concept moving forward, where Trace McSorley just has a much closer game to Kyler Murray than Colt McCoy does. But Colt McCoy is the veteran there. He's going to win you a few games if need be. But Trace McSorley is probably seen to be more of the future backup quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, and I like it. So 3 quarterbacks for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's move on over to the running back position. James Conner, Eno Benjamin, Darrell Williams, and Keontae Ingram. Now, in my original prediction, I did want to say Jonathan Ward. It sucks that he ended up getting injured in a preseason game. As of right now, we still don't know what the status of Jonathan Ward is going to be. And that's one of the main reasons why I actually left him out in my prediction, because of that very reason. Now, if we were told, in a couple days that he's good, then I most likely would probably scratch somebody off and put him in there. I want Jonathan Ward to succeed. I want him to be in this 53-man roster. But as of right now, when I'm recording this, I don't believe he's going to make the cut. So, James Conner, Eno Benjamin, Darrell Williams, and Keontae Ingram, 4 running backs in the 53-man roster. Let's move on over to the wide receivers. DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Marquise Hollywood-Brown, Rondale Moore, Greg Dortch, Antoine Wesley, and we cannot forget about Mr. Andy Isabella. Now, this is kind of the same thing. Andy Isabella has played his tail off in this preseason just in general. We've seen him play like I have never seen him play before, honestly. So I do believe he deserves to be in the final 53. He really does, honestly. Just looked really, really well. So that's going to be my list of wide receivers. Let's move over to the tight ends. We'll make it short and simple. Zach Ertz, Max Williams, Trey McBride. Short and simple there. Let's move over to the offensive linemen. And just to clarify here, this is not in any specific order, any specific position, but I'm just telling you what offensive linemen, including tackles and guards, all in one. So keep that in mind. So DJ Humphries, Justin Pugh, Rodney Hudson, Cody Ford, Will Hernandez, Josh Jones, Kelvin Beachum, Sean Harlow, and Justin Murray. Like I said, it's a mix between depth players and starters, but I do believe that we are going to be carrying about 9 offensive linemen. It just makes sense. It's probably one of a tough position to stay healthy, especially because you're in the trenches. And I do believe that all those players are going to be, coming in a 53-man roster. Let's move over to special teams here. This is probably going to be a very short list as well. So Matt Prater being the kicker, right? Obvious. Punter is going to be Andy Lee, and then long snapper Aaron Brewer. Now let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. That's going to be where it's going to get a little sticky because we had some players really shine a lot in preseason, and I know people were going to say you should have picked this guy over this guy, but nevertheless, let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the defensive linemen. Now, specifically, it's going to be the interior, so not edge. We got specific edge we're going to talk about a little later on. So we're going to talk about defensive linemen just in general, not including edge. So J.J. Watt, Antoine Woods. I really liked what I've seen from Antoine Woods. We just recently signed him probably about a month ago now. I really like what I've seen from him, so I think he's going to make the cut. Licky Fotu, as well as Rashad Lawrence, Zach Allen, and Michael Dogbe. When you look at all those players, I do believe that we have a lot of potential with Licky Fotu as well as Rashad Lawrence. Zach Allen, he's, I wouldn't say he's proven it already, but I think he's going to get a starting spot right next to J.J. Watt, or at least into a rotation with J.J. Watt. So I really like what we're looking at with the defensive line. Now let's move over to the edge position here. This is where it gets a little, kind of exciting, and especially because I was a little concerned with the edge position, but I've seen a lot of flashes on preseason. It gets me a little excited here. So let's move over to the outside linebackers. Dennis Gardeck, Marcus Golden, Victor Dimikichi, Cameron Thomas, Majay Sanders, and Devon Kennard. Yes, 6 edge players. We're going to be rotating. I think the primary people are going to be Dennis Gardeck and Marcus Golden, but yeah, we could be surprised. That's going to be my outside linebackers. Let's move over to the cornerback position. Byron Murphy, Antonio Hamilton, Josh Jackson, Marco Wilson. Not in any specific order right there. Marco Wilson might be one of the outside cornerbacks that we have, but please, Arizona Cardinals, let's make a move. Please. I'm carrying only four cornerbacks into the final 53-man roster. I know it's risky. I know it is, but I want to make sure that I'm getting the defensive line and the offensive linemen bolstered. I need as much depth as I possibly can. So 4 cornerbacks going into the 53-man roster. Let's move over to the safety position. Short and simple here. Budda Baker, Jalen Thompson, and Charles Washington. I was really considering Deontay Thompson, but no, I think he's going to be practice squad more than anything. Let's move over to the inside linebacker. Now, this will also include star linebacker as well as the weak side as well. So, Zaven Collins, Isaiah Simmons, Tanner Vallejo, Ezekiel Turner. Now, me specifically, I think it's going to be a lot more special teams more than anything, but because he played the inside linebacker spot in preseason, that's where I put him here. And then Chandler Wooten. I think there's so much people that are really excited about what Chandler Wooten can do. I'm going to put him on my list because I want him to succeed. So Chandler Wooten has made it in. So as of right there, we had 26 players on the offensive side of the ball. We had 3 players on special teams, and I'm talking about kicker, punter, as well as long snapper. Everybody else is going to be mixed in if need be. But that is going to be my prediction of the 53-man roster. What do you think is going to be happening? Is there a player that I didn't mention that you believe is going to be making it in? Put everything in the comments below. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate you guys for watching, and I'm out.